Hello and welcome back, you guys. Today I'm going to share with you 5 things I think Fall Guys can implement to improve the game, okay? And these 5 things each have to be eligible for the following 3 criteria. First, it has to be realistic. So for example, I can't say, oh, no more showbucks, everything's free. Second, it has to be constructive or positive. So in other words, these things have to actually provide some sort of advice or constructive criticism for the game itself. And third, it has to theoretically be good for everyone. So as much as I like Lost Temple, I can't just say, oh, Lost Temple is the only final in the game. These criticisms or these suggestions have to benefit everybody, at least theoretically. Alright, so with that being said, let's get started. So first up, it's a bit of a general category, but quality of life improvements. And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, we've all heard this before, but it's arguably the most important thing that I believe Fall Guys needs to implement. In this category here, these quality of life improvements, I have 3 subcategories, okay? The first one I want to talk about is the locker. Specifically, a theoretical search option and a theoretical preset option. To put it frankly, the locker is a mess as it stands. There's just too many cosmetics that we all have. Imagine legacy players. I've only been playing for 2 years. Some people have been playing for 4. And the fact that we don't have the ability to search within our locker is honestly shocking. This is only getting worse because, I mean, naturally the more you play, the more you acquire, and thus the more bogged down your locker gets. So quite literally with each passing day, there's an increasing need for a locker search ability. This seems like something that at this point in time we would have had by now, but that's not the case. Unfortunately, we still don't have it, and I really think the game could benefit from this. In addition to this, also within the locker, I think we need presets. I think while there's tons of cosmetics in the game and we all love mixing it up, I think we all have our favorites, myself included, and it just seems interesting to me that we don't have the ability to save those favorites. So these 2, I think, I would like to have already seen in the game by this point, but I definitely think should be implemented, hopefully in the very near future. Now, our second little category within this quality of life kind of overarching theme is an Emote Wheel. Again, this is one of those things that you would think we would have by now. And yeah, I don't mean to be the, Epic Games bad, Mediatonic bad kind of guy, but they keep giving us emotes, and I'm a sucker, I'll be the first to admit it, I buy them all, and yet we don't get to use any more than 4. So I have no problem spending the money because I love the game and I think they're cool, but we only have the ability to use 4 at a time, and as you can see, the average locker has a ton of emotes, and, I'll speak for me personally, it may not seem like a big deal, but to me, a big part of the game is just like having fun, hanging out with friends, emoting, all that good stuff. So to be able to use 4 at a time is not ideal. Okay, and third and finally in this quality of life section, this is just real quick, the ability to queue directly into your next match. Why can we not do this? It slows the game down tremendously, and I'm sure there is an actual reason that I don't personally understand, but imagine how much quicker the game would be if you could queue into solos and you could just keep playing solos without having to go back to the lobby each time. And one more thing on this before I move on, remember when we could select multiple shows at once and we could click play and it would give us a random one? Just some food for thought. I don't know why we can't do that anymore either. My next suggested improvement is to bring back LTMs in their full capacity. Okay guys, I'm going to try to not yap your ear off on this one because I know we all agree, it's been spoken into oblivion, but I'm just going to say it. It makes no sense to me. And this actually, in terms of all the changes Fall Guys has made, at least since I've started playing, is the most perplexing and honestly the least understandable change that's been made. I remember at the beginning of SS4, when they went away from 2 LTMs into 1 that lasted for a week, I already really didn't like that. And then, starting, I want to say, a few weeks back, now LTMs are like a special thing that we rarely get. It's just not okay. Because as it turns out, and I think most of us can attest to this, LTMs are what bring us back. LTMs are what keep it fresh, keep it competitive, keep it fun. For there to be no LTMs, except on a one-off basis, it makes no sense. And while we're on the topic of LTMs, give us some new ones. Forget, bringing back old ones, which is great. Give us some new ones. It's simple. Give us 2 rounds of Jinxed into a random final. Give us Hex-a-Terrestrial Trials. Give us Hyperdrive Hero time, right? 2 rounds of Hyperdrive Heroes with a random final. It just, I can't really put my finger on it, and I can try as I might. I can't imagine why LTMs would be removed. They're such a core part of the game. They're a big factor that got me into the game, and I can't fathom why they were ever removed. And I think they need to come back. My third suggestion, I'm going to try to keep even shorter than the LTM section, is events. And this is another thing I kind of can't believe I have to say, but we like events, and they should be in the game. I think they're a lot of fun for a lot of reasons. One, they give us an excellent opportunity to earn, keyword earn, a cool cosmetic that there's no other opportunity to get. You can't buy, for example, or get through the crown ranks. I think it gives us something fresh, something different. We have to collect something, or there's different modes, kind of like Silence Memories. Whatever the case may be, it's fresh, it's different, and it's exciting. It gives us something to work towards other than just the crown rank, which, you know, when you get to a point, it's like, okay, yay, 300 more crowns, I get something. I just think events have to come back, and that's really all there is to it. My fourth suggestion is an overhaul to the system that is used to select Explorer maps. Alright, this might not be a terribly popular one because it's the least solution-oriented. I don't have a great solution to this problem, but I will stand on this. Explorer is not maximizing its potential. And I try not to ridicule or criticize level creators because I can't create levels to save my life. But frankly, Explorer has a problem. You see way too many bad levels. Just bad levels. Object slop. Invisible death zones. No checkpoints. I mean, you see it all the time, guys. And I don't know what the answer is. Maybe you have a board of beans, B.O.B., who select these maps. You get players who are in tune with the community, active on Twitter, active on YouTube, active in the Discord, who stay in touch with the community, on these platforms, and they submit the courses, for further review, and then the Fall Guys team can maybe implement them. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't work because, it has to be kind of evergreen and it has to be ever developing. But the point is, it's just not working right now. And I just see Explorer as this gold mine of potential that's just not being maximized at this point, and I'd love to see it improved. And one more thing, just real quick while we're on the subject, I would like to see some better rewards for Explorer. It doesn't have to be 20 shards like Unexplored Adventures used to be. Maybe 10. Give us 10 and I'd be happy. My fifth and final suggestion is actually probably the one that has the greatest likelihood of being fixed and being fixed soon, and that would be a complete separation of solos and knockout. Because right now what we have is solos and solos with creative levels, aka knockout. This one's understandable because what happened is, of course, as we know, knockout was implemented, there was a community outlash, and they went back and kind of met us halfway and said, okay, we'll do both, fine. What ended up happening is now we have a knockout mode that is laden with solos levels, and then you get a couple creatives here or there. What really needs to happen is we have our solos with all of our classic Unity rounds that we all know and love, and then we need to have our knockout, which is strictly 100% fresh, creative rounds, with maybe the exception of some Unity finals, maybe. But the point is, they need to be two separate entities. If you want to play solos, you play solos. If you want to play creative, you play knockout. It's that simple. So there you have it, you guys. Those are 5 things I think Fall Guys could realistically implement that would improve the game. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Tell me what you would realistically like to implement into the game, what you would like to see, what maybe you would like to change. But in either case, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.